Trudy Mason sitting in for Elias, and we're talking now about Thanksgiving. And people who are religiously observant of certain denominations see Thanksgiving as more than just a harvest festival. They see Thanksgiving as a time to bow their heads and to thank God for the abundance, the harvest that we enjoy here in Canada that enables our way of life. And this is something that has long been enjoyed here in Canada, but there is a group, an eco group, that would like us to rethink Thanksgiving, to see it in a new way by perhaps taking God out of the equation if you are not a believer, but finding a different way to give thanks if you are a non-believer. We welcome now Alain Branchaud, General Director of SNAP Quebec. SNAP is the Société pour la Nature et les Parcs du Canada. Alain, welcome to CJAD.
Hello, Trudy.
Hi. So this isn't just, part of a secularism push here in Quebec. What you're advocating for is a different way of seeing Thanksgiving. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, maybe just make a precision that we don't want to move things away. We want to expand the concept because, there are new realities and our holidays need to evolve to include a majority of people. So the idea of saying thanks for harvest divinely can be expanded to what we're asking is to expand the concept to say thanks to nature, because nature not only provides food, but it also provides a lot of services. The air, it stocks carbon, so it fights against climate change, and there's so much benefit from nature. Walking into a park can have health and mental health and physical health benefits. So the idea is so that people can reconnect to nature, and a way of doing that would be to go to nature during Thanksgiving or Thanks to Nature Day and say thanks for all these services that we receive freely, but that we don't take into consideration enough. So in face of the two big environmental crisis that we have, climate change and the biodiversity crisis, we think that it's important to move into that direction. And we're not alone in that. There's a bunch of scientists that now are seeing that disconnection to nature is one of the underlying causes of many issues that we have facing the future environmental crisis.
Why do you think it is that we are becoming disconnected from nature? It seems every city is preoccupied by expanding green spaces, making sure that there are trees on streets, in some cases subsidizing homeowners who want to plant trees on their property. Why do you think we are continuing to be disconnected?
Well, the fact that most people now live in cities, that's one reason. People are, there's a lot of activities that don't bring people to nature. So some people can spend their whole life, getting out of their home, taking the car, moving into a parking where they work, taking the elevator and, coming back home and so on. With a little stop at the grocery, without seeing birds, without seeing trees, without seeing nothing. And there's a scientific studies showing that accessing nature can really have a lot of benefits. So if we're trying to save money for the health sector and get people in better shape, the contact to nature is important. And these crises that I'm referring to, the climate crisis, the biodiversity crisis, if people don't connect to nature, they don't care about what's happening. They don't understand what's happening. If they're connected to nature, they'll see that it's important to protect that, and they'll understand that nature is our ally, and we need to protect nature. Without nature, there's no life, there's no economy, there's nothing. So we need to to reconnect to nature. And there was a report by IPBES. IPBES is the equivalent to IPCC, the group of experts on climate change. There's a group of experts on biodiversity. They issued this year a huge report on transformative change, and they talk about the underlying causes of biodiversity loss, which are the same as the climate, what triggers the climate change crisis. And this connection to nature is named as one of the main pillar of underlying causes leading to these issues. So the idea now is not to focus on getting God out of anything. The idea is to expand the concept of saying thanks, but not only for harvest, but for all what nature provides us, so that people can have a better understanding of what's happening. And, it's the same thing, family, friends, a good dinner at home with friends and family, and a visit to nature. And at SNAP Quebec, we have an activity that we offer each Thanksgiving Day in different parks across the Quebec, and with our allies from other provinces, we were able to expand the concept in Ontario, Manitoba, Alberta, New Brunswick, and even in France, so that people can go outside and take the time to say, okay, thanks. And the way we do that is we have what we call a Connection Nature Trail, which has 5 activities. There's a hugging tree station, which is the loving nature station. We have
you realize though that, Alain, that some people are laughing at that idea that to express Thanksgiving, go into a forest and hug trees. I think some listeners might laugh at that idea.
I agree, and I'm a scientist. I'm a biologist. I spent years in university studying science and ways to protect nature. Emotion and these kind of connection to nature are what is necessary right now. So it's really serious, and I understand that why people can laugh at that, but. Why not try it? Go outside, hug a tree, say thanks, and you'll see. Spend more time. So we, with the Léger firm, we did ask if people in Quebec were supportive of this idea, and we found out that 59% of people were highly supportive of it. And it doesn't mean that 41% are against that, because there was a lot of people that didn't know if they were supportive or not. So we cannot, classify them into yes or no. But what we found out is that 90% of people that go into nature can feel the benefit of going to nature. So that's a lot of people.
You could argue that people could do it out of self-interest, never mind for other people or for the environment in general. I think, Alain, when you clarify that what you're talking about is expanding the notion of Thanksgiving, and opening up to other people who would not necessarily just thank God, but to people who would like to acknowledge everything that nature brings us. I hope that reassures some of our listeners. I'm getting some texts in that God created all nature. Give thanks to the creator instead of the creation, that type of thing. But you're talking about expanding the concept, not limiting the concept. So I think that should be reassuring.
Yeah, of course. And we don't want to prevent people from doing for what they believe. That's not the case. That was never mentioned. So the idea is really to expand the concept and make sure that at the end of the day, people consider not only harvest but all what nature is providing. And this is important. And I would be surprised to do a poll to see how many people still continue to say use Thanksgiving divinely. I'm not sure that's the majority of people. So,
well, that is true. That religious observance in some sectors is in decline in Canada. Alain Branchaud, thank you very much for the interview. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Alain Branchaud, Director General of SNAP Québec, the Société pour la nature et les parcs de Canada.